Hello guys and welcome to another video. It's been a very long time, but I'm not going to waste any time talking about my personal life right now. I'm going to go through and explain this whole entire video. If you want to hear where I've been, more about my personal life, more about who I am on my channel, you can watch all the way to the end of the video and then listen to that aspect of it. But for the meantime, let's just focus on today's video. First thing I'm going to say is that my channel will not become one of those AI focused channels where all I'm talking about is working with Claude or just working with AI. I have just been using Claude Cowork a lot and using Claude a lot recently. And I've helped a lot of my friends to be able to start using it and my girlfriend to start using it. So I thought, why not make a video and speak about this on my second channel so that other people can also use this. So let's just get straight into it. The whole point of this video is I'm going to be teaching you how to prompt Claude better. Now, the thing is, Claude is a lot better than ChatGPT, which means you're going to have to use Claude a lot different to the way that you're going to use ChatGPT. Alongside of that, sorry, that's my patty right there. The way that I use Claude will be slightly different to the way that you may start to use Claude. Firstly, I'm going to start from here. I use Claude Cowork. I don't use Claude Chat features anymore, mainly because I have Claude Cowork. If you want me to make a video on how I can use that, or how I use my Claude Cowork, you can ask me, put it down in the comments and I can create a video on that. I got my basis from KJ Rainey, so I'm gonna shout him out from now, because what I'll most likely do is link his video in my next video if I do come to make that video. And then you watch his video and you can also watch my video and then learn how to use it in two different ways. But right now, this is most likely for if you use Claude Cowork, it will help you with that. Or if you just use Claude Chat feature, it will also help you with that. So how to prompt Claude better. The whole point is this is going to be a guide that is built by daily use that I have personally used Claude for, rather than just some theory video where you're going to be listening to me spurting out nonsense that I've never used before. Claude is like a highly capable person who just walked into the room with zero context. The better the brief you give, the better the work that you get back. So the issue with talking to AI is the fact that a lot of people want to say random things and get the best thing out with no form of work from yourself going into it. It's like, Claude is not a genie. You can't just go to it and say, here is my 3 wishes and expect it to just be perfect, unless you're very specific about your wish. It's like going to a genie and saying, oh, I want freedom. The genie's gonna think, that's not specific enough. What does that even look like? If any of you have watched Obsession recently, it's like, the guy who made the wish, he asked the girl to love him. I actually missed the beginning, so I kind of missed the wish, but I'm pretty sure he says to her to love him. But the issue is that was not specific enough. I saw a video where someone was like, if he said, I want her to grow to love me in a healthy manner for us to help a relationship, that would be the best way to have the wish. But just saying for that girl to love him completely messed it all up. So look at Claude like that. The less information you give Claude, the worse the prompt that you give Claude, the worse that you're going to get back out there. And most people prompt Claude like a search engine, vague and generic out. It doesn't have to be that way. So the first tip I'm going to give you is that you must learn this formula at the back of your hand. You want to focus on getting an actionable step given to Claude, the object, and also the format/destination. So just like this, write me the launch email, confident tone, no fluff, save as a doc. So for example, what ChatGPT does is it will give you a lot of jargon. If you say, write me an email, it will go through and tell whoever you're sending the email to about the whole entire world through and through. Me personally, I hated that, so I've stopped using GPT for that. If you go to Claude, you say, write me a launch email, confident tone, no fluff, I specifically say no jargon, you will get a way better output from that. Pull the Q3 brief and mark everything in phase 2 as done. So actually tell it to find a specific doc or whatever you may be working inside of and pull everything from there and then implement onto phase 2, whatever that may be. Research the top 5 competitors and summarize what they do differently in under 300 words. So something that I specifically do for my Claude Cowork is that I have a scheduled task where every single week it will go through on the last day of Sunday and look through my industry, find the best winning top performing videos, and then give me content ideas based off that and ways to implement and improve my own videos. Simple. That came from me prompting it, saying, this is what I want, this is what I want it to look like, and this is what I want it to end up as. So specifically, you need to give it a destination. This is under 300 words. Save as a doc. They didn't add a destination in here. But even for example, this whole entire presentation that you're going to see, this whole entire Miro board was created through Claude when I prompted it as I was going to sleep. And I'll show you guys how to be able to output 10 times faster than what you do right now, and I'll show that throughout inside this video. In fact, I can show you right now, why waste time? So this is Super Whisper, and it's a way for you to express your thoughts and any form of notes that you want to take at the fastest way possible. There's so many other ways, but me personally, I just use Super Whisper. My friend referred me to it a long time ago. So what you can do is you'll hear something pop up. That right there. Now that I've downloaded it onto my laptop, it will go through and transcript everything I say right now. So let's say I now go into Claude after this, because you'll see this pop up. It will have it, okay, it's not there, but if I was to go back into this and then if I was to click this and click paste, That's exactly what I said. So just like that, you're able to output 10 times faster because you don't have to be sitting there typing it all away. You can just go through, speak to the phone and get an accurate transcript and be able to paste that straight into Claude. And it's already shortkeyed into your paste element on your laptop. So all you have to do is literally click copy and paste, or if your cursor is already inside of the chat like this, once you finish it will just copy and paste it inside. So I highly recommend every single one of you get some form of AI transcriptor. My friend doesn't even use Super Whisper, the one who referred me. Well, I had two friends who referred me, but one of them don't even use it. They use another one. So it doesn't matter which one you get, just get an AI transcriptor and watch your output increase like 1,000,000%. Because now, even with mine, I just go on to either dispatch on my phone or go to my notes, literally use Super Whisper, voice note whatever I want, and it will come through as text, and I just copy and paste it on the back of my laptop. So these are the 12 prompting wins. So these are ways that will genuinely change your output from Claude. So number one is tell Claude the output format you want up front. So you say right now, do I want it as an MD? Do I want it as a Google Doc? Do I want it as a Google Sheet? Number two is add the stakes or context. So for example, you may want to say, ensure that like you include an aspect of, let's say you want it to be in Spanish, make sure it's in Spanish, whatever it may be. Ensure that you don't miss out on anything that you know is imperative for it to give you a good output. Number three, say what done looks like. So for example, when I come to create HTML files of, let's say I want to make like a lead magnet, or I want to, for example, like have just a spare website that I can upsell clients on, whatever it may be that I use HTML for, I would say this is exactly what I want it to look like. If I want it to be blue, make it blue. If I want it to be red, make it red. And ensure you include this, because if you don't, well then you're not going to get the output you want. Then you have to reprompt Claude, or technically reprompt it anyway, and open another chat or send another prompt inside for it to now be updated to what you want. But if you can say everything the first time, it will all be done the first time. Number four is give Claude the permission to decide. So I like to turn on from arcs to act. You'll see this on Claude Cowork. I don't think it has it in Claude Chats, but giving Claude autonomy to be able to do what it wants. If I say, this is how I want the output to look like, I will just put an act and go about it. And I also make sure that Claude does let me know everything it goes through and does. If it messes up, well, I can go through and fix it. Not a lot of it is going to be like the crazy important thing. I'm not making it handle sending fantasy and stuff like that, but I'll give it autonomy to act in place, so I don't have to waste my time doing all of it. Number five, stack multiple tasks because it works. So what I used to think is Claude was like ChatGPT, where I have to say one thing at one time to be able to get work done. Not at all. I go through and I say everything, and I let my prompts stack up like crazy. So I may go through today and say, create me a Miro board on this video. Then I may also say, help me build a conversation AI for my business. Then I may also say, find online the best whatever. I will say multiple things in one chat, and I also make sure that I say to Claude, section it out so that I can see everything I have told you to do. So it's also clear for you to actually take action on everything. And you can work 10 to 15 times faster, because you're no longer one thing, one prompt, or one thing, one output. One thing, one output. It is multiple things done at one time. Reference files by name. So me personally, I use SOPs and Google Docs to improve my things. Or let's say, for example, I have a specific note inside of my Apple Notes. I will say to Claude, go through my Apple Notes, search for this specific note and find that and use it, or find this specific Google Doc. So for example, my Clinic Flow ads creation campaign SOP, I will tell it to go with there, find that SOP and reference that when, for example, like I'm making a skill. Use voice notes if you think it's faster. So for example, going on Super Whisper, voice noting, getting the transcript and putting it inside of Claude. Name the audience. So if you're going for a specific campaign or for some specific copy going towards one niche, make sure you make that known to Claude. Give examples of what you like. So if you want the output to be something that you're specifically looking for, make sure you reference that. And if you can, even better, find a photo of something you're trying to reference. Tell Claude what you do not want. Now, this is something I talk about advice all over. It's better to know the same thing that you want to know what to do, it's equally as important what you should know what not to do. Like, let's say you want to become an amazing husband. To be able to be an amazing husband, there's a list of things that you have to do. There's also a list of things that you shouldn't do, like cheating, talking to her sister, whatever. You shouldn't do these sorts of things. And you want Claude to have that information as well. Not just for it to know what it should do, but also knowing what it should not do. Specify the length. Me personally, I don't like long jargon posts. I will not read it. Simplify it, make it easy for me to digest the information, and that is my form of output. If you prefer longer text, ask for that. But me personally, I don't like it. Win number 12 is to iterate fast and to treat it like a conversation. So you don't want to waste no time and just be withholding information, whatever it may be. The second you see something, make it known and make Claude take action on that right there and right then. So what works versus what slows you down. So what slows you down is you give vague targets, make it better, make it 1% better. How? How can it do this? If it's a specific form of copy, speak about improving the psychology, improving the sales aspect of it. Make sure you use most persuasive language to improve the conversion. Missing context, update the sheet. What specific sheet do you want? No output format, save it where? What length? How long do you want the text to be? One task at one time when you could stack 5, and restarting instead of refining the draft. And the best ways to get results is to do the action, object, and format in every single prompt. Name the audience every time it matters. So it's not like every single time you have to go into there and try to find an audience. It's only if you need it in that frame. Paste a reference when the tone matters. So for example, if I'm going to be prompting, for example, Claude to be working with my conversation AI bot, I'm going to give it a tone that I want the bot to have to ensure it's not going there and using some random copy or some next generic tone from the internet. Batch your task in a single message. So as I said, basically brain dump inside of that super whisper and paste the transcript inside. Give permission to decide when you want speed. So these are some power prompts for common workflows. So if you want to create content, you can screenshot these and use them to your whatever you may need it for. Specific one, like for example, morning, brief me, what is open, what is urgent, what should I work on first? Now, this is a skill that I have, a scheduled task. It helps me so much. So before I go to bed, I have tasks that I want to do the next day. Alongside when I wake up, I have tasks that I want to execute on. So before I go to sleep, I can see what I want to do when I wake up, alongside and have tasks that I want to do going into the next day. So screenshot these and definitely input your information or even add more context for your specific tasks. Now, this is a very important aspect of Claude that I think changes it more than anything else, and this is skills. This is when AI stops feeling like a tool. So you install a skill once and it is triggered within a single sentence. So for example, I have a skill which is not on here, but something called a counsel. So something that I don't like is that when you prompt AI a lot, it becomes very biased. And what you can do in Claude is, for example, I've called the counsel. I saw somebody else create it online and then they didn't send me the prompt on Instagram, even though I commented down the word, and this is me being salty talking about it. But I literally just got the whole entire transcript of the video, put the transcript into Claude and asked Claude to reverse engineer exactly what they spoke about. And lo and behold, I had the counsel skill. Now what it does is, after I say to it, do you think this is a good idea, after laying down a whole entire business plan, it will get 5 different agents who think in 5 different ways to then sit on the information I've given and then have their own different outputs. And then the final agent inside of it will come through and give a direct response based off every single different one. For example, there we have the contrarian agent, the first principles agent, and they will all think completely different, have their different outlooks on the specific thing, and then Claude will come and give me the best output on how I can take action on it. The campaign creation skill. So what I would do when I create ads for my clients is, rather than me going through and now having to think of everything from start to finish, every single minute detail, I have a skill where I just say, help me create a campaign. Let's say it's campaign 18 or campaign for this person, and just use the skill, and it will go through with the Clinic for Ads SOP that I told you about earlier in this video, and literally from start to finish, build the whole entire campaign. Obviously, right now, I don't have it to edit the videos for me, but from start to finish, give me all of the back end for it, what I need to go through and implement on, and then I can take action on it. So definitely try your best to try and create your own skills of tasks that you feel like take a lot of time. And also ask Claude to create skills based off what you use Claude for. That's what I done. The only way that I need to create the campaign creation one or the ad testing or the morning briefs is because these are things that I would do for myself, and I was like, I can't be bothered. Claude, can you do this? And it went through and then created it. So finally, the takeaway. Treat Claude like a brilliant new hire who just walked in. Brief it like you mean it. And if you've never hired somebody before in your life, just understand from day one, they're not going to know anything about who you are, your business, or what you guys stand for. You need to treat Claude like that. You need to give it as much information as possible. Try and feed it as many Google Docs, files, SOPs, sheets, everything you can, so that it can get a full understanding of your whole entire business and you as a person. And then from then, when you go and prompt it, it will have all this backend information to be able to improve its outputs and ensure the information that you get. And most importantly, do not leave this video without remembering this formula. Action, object, format. Action, give me XX in X format for whatever it may be. So let's say, give me, as you saw earlier, give me 5, which is the action, 5 hooks for my TikTok account, and I want it in a Google Doc format. Bang, just like that. And from watching this, I promise you, you'll see your output on Claude improve by 10 to 15%. And alongside of that, you'll be able to start being more efficient and you'll start to get closer and closer and closer to your goals. Okay, now thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and from watching this video, you'll definitely get better at using Claude. Now to explain where I have been, why I suddenly went missing for I think it was like 9 months or 8 months, whatever, how long it may be. So I'm living my life. But now I really want to come back and start improving my content and putting way more content onto this channel. Now, I have not forgotten about that £500 and running the marathon. I've been asked, I have not forgotten. I just need to find the time to go through and actually run a marathon, because I know for a fact I'm going to get shattered legs from it. Now the £500, that one's a little bit different. I can go through and do that. But what I want to do is give myself another goal, another target to be able to hit it. And then I'm going to do this thing. And I also want to grow the channel a little bit more, because I think, yes, there's about 82 subscribers right now, but I think I'm going to run it from about 200 subscribers. That means from 200 subscribers, I want a pool of 200 people to be able to come and get this £500. And then, yeah. But basically now my whole plan is to start documenting my life way more ideas, things that I won't post onto my main channel to come back onto this channel. So what I was showing you guys before was like my cold calling, me scaling my business. And these are all things that I will continue to show you, but I want to show you more because, for example, like I'm going to Paris, to France in about a month. And I wanted to record that whole entire journey of me going on my first solo trip by myself to go through and have a very exciting time. I'm not going to give it away just in case I actually go through and make a whole entire video on it. But it's going to be very exciting. I was like, where will I output this content? And I thought, no better place than my second channel. So these are all things I want to start executing on, and ways that I even got to go on these flights and these trips for cheaper than the way that other people were able to go on them. And all this information, all this knowledge, I want to start outputting it. And this is the place I'm going to start doing it. So this is my vow to start coming back and creating more content. I don't know if it's going to be once a week posts as of yet, but the plan is to be as consistent as possible on both of my channels, alongside getting back into creating content on my business channel again. There is a massive heat wave going over the UK. And if you know me, you know I don't like heat. I don't like summer. I enjoy winter. So even here right now recording is quite hard for me, but I'm about to be going to the gym soon, so I'm fine. I don't really mind it. But yeah, that's where I've been. And I hope you guys have been staying good. You guys have been staying blessed. And from now on, it's only going to be up. Like, I'm just going to ensure that any form of growth that I receive, I'm going to try and translate as much of that information towards you guys, so you guys can reap the rewards as well, alongside I've seen my journey, because it's going to be very, very, very fun. But other than that, thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.